next, we'll see Joe Mixon. He just crossed the century mark last week with 103 yards. It's the Bengals and the Ravens on Sunday night.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. Charles, our quarterback matchup here, it's a good one. Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
And you're talking about two young quarterbacks with exceptional skill sets that we believe are ascending. I think that each is on a path where they may be headed towards All-Pro, maybe even MVP status, and they want to carry their teams along with them.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He's an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
9 yards on the first down. Keep it at 2nd and 1. That's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Allen going to keep it again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. They want him involved, just as you said. They want to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Wallace. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 12-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Edwards. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they run with Edwards off the option. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. To the air, Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Complete. Jefferson the target. The Bengals 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
But he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try to put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. What a run there. I mean, you've got speed, elusiveness, escapability, all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands, and guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now knocking on the door. And this is certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 17 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Mixon on the toss right. And he is going to lose yardage here. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 38-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, That allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that one.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Well, he gave one defender the slip, but others waiting in the wings and dropping him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On second and goal, Herbert. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Now Herbert, third and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of the game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So no problems at all on that one. And you know, virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come up now second and 4 from the 31. Off the option, here's Edwards.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Marquez Stevenson now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Herbert. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. And they've got the lead right now here, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week to the Raiders. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
They'll start with the option.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
Justin Jefferson.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Open man is Myers. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. This time they'll just keep this on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
He's definitely not been there before here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So we have reached halftime here and a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where you see the final score there. Davis Mills, 3 touchdown passes as his guys move to 2-0 on the young season. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and the Dallas Cowboys. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and they were able to find some success running the football, which is something they'll need to continue to do in a close game like this one. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, here's a look at their numbers throwing the football in what was a very even first half. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. It's a tied football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Mixon.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Herbert on first down now. This one brought in by Jefferson.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert, throw left side, complete to Chase.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Oh, look at the juke. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now Allen. And he's unable to haul it in. So the ball's incomplete on the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to push it in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Herbert now. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. From down near his goal line here, Herbert. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Shifts past him at the 45. And he's going to have a Ravens 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with it or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
To throw, it's Allen. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
Allen now looks to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Tucker's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in here by Chase.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Here's Herbert.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
On first down, it's Herbert. Open man is Chase, complete.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Herbert back to the air. That is taken in by Hurst. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. To throw again on second down. Herbert, complete. Jefferson the target. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on fourth down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Herbert throwing again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. McPherson's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from home.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line to give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Stevenson now is going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On first down, Justin Herbert. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down. Trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. Stop to get it done as you noted. And they did.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Mixing up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Throwing, Herbert. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tyus Bowser in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They'll try and run with Mixon, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A new lease on life after the fourth down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert to throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth quarter lead. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Herbert. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Herbert going to throw. To to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now Herbert. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Charles, that drive was perfect. Methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Cincinnati, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And next week, they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.
start they rattle-tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them.